When it comes to nutrition, there's so much talk out there about the kinds of foods we should be eating. You probably hear the advice of we should eat more vegetables or eat this protein versus that protein and eat this kind of fruit versus that kind of fruit. And I think all of that is very valuable information, but what I believe is equally important is the kind of fluids we're putting in our body, the kinds of things we're drinking, because you've probably heard the statistic that the human body is roughly 70% water. It's absolutely true. And by that extension, it really makes a lot of sense that we really prioritize the kinds of fluids we're putting in our body. And if we drink the wrong things, it can send our health and wreak havoc on our health. If we drink the right things, it can help us feel full, energized, and really fit and amazing and alive. So in today's video, we're gonna cover 6 things that I believe all of us should drink more of this year to live healthy, to feel focused and energized, and some drinks that I believe we should avoid and leave behind last year because they're really wreaking havoc on our health. I know you're gonna learn a ton in today's video, so get out your pen and paper, take some notes, and let's dive on in.
FitFatherProject.com.
All right, so to kick off our list, the first thing that we should be drinking more of this year is some high quality water. And this might seem very obvious, but the fact that this makes first on the list is because most people miss this. Most of us are going throughout a mildly dehydrated state every single day because we're sleeping for 6, 7, 8 hours. We're not drinking during that time. And we wake up in the morning and we fail to rehydrate properly. We go over something like coffee, which is a mild diuretic, and then the whole cycle of not drinking enough fluids throughout the day starts to take hold. And what that means for us is that we typically feel fatigued. Oftentimes we have headaches due to dehydration, and we turn to other things like sugary drinks and stuff like that, which sends our blood sugar in a tailspin. Water fixes all those problems, first thing in the morning in particular. And what I recommend this year is you get up in the morning, you have 20 to 32 ounces of high quality water. And what high quality water means for me is it's gone through some kind of good filtration process to get rid of some of the chlorine and the fluoride, and it's put in regular tap water, and ideally it has some good minerals added back into it. So if you have a reverse osmosis filter or something like distillation filter, that's taking out some of those minerals. We want to re-add those minerals back in, because when it comes to hydration, it's not just the water itself, but the water with the minerals that our body needs. So what I recommend as a simple habit is to get some pink Himalayan sea salt, which has around 84 different types of minerals, and you throw a little pinch of that in your morning water, and then you're getting the minerals in the water first thing in the morning. What you're going to find is you do this more frequently, your energy is going to be higher in the morning, and you're going to feel less need to go necessarily have some coffee, although coffee is going to be on our list. We'll talk about that in just a second. So one thing, rehydrate in the morning with water. Number 2, get yourself some kind of water bottle. So I actually have some tea here. We're also going to talk about tea in this list, but if you brew some tea or something like this and you bring this throughout the day, then you can drink like 2 of these per day and you're going to hit your hydration target. So that's why water is first on our list. Second thing is some organic tea. I think people forget that essentially tea is medicine. These herbs that we throw in the different kinds of teas, the green tea, the hibiscus, the ginger, the peppermint, they all have medicinal properties. Peppermint is great for digestion, so if you have gas and bloating, peppermint can help with that. Green tea is good for energy. It helps with fat burning. Hibiscus tea lowers your blood pressure. Ginger tea, good for digestion. Lavender and chamomile tea, good for helping you sleep. So this year, what if we brought our focus into incorporating more teas into our nutrition plan for their medicinal purposes? So in the morning, brewing something like the green tea is amazing for your energy, for your fat burning, your focus. It does have some caffeine like coffee, but not quite as much. And it also has a special amino acid called L-theanine that gives you more of a balanced, calm, zen feel. And at night, you could start using some chamomile or lavender tea, which is research proven to help you calm you down. It binds to some of the brain receptors that reduces anxiety and induces sleep. So you can start using tea as medicine this year, and it'd be a really good way to help you you basically have the right kind of state throughout the day, whether you want to be energized or a little more relaxed. Tea to the rescue. And guess what? Tea counts towards your water target. So if you're doing something like I do in the morning and you're brewing some organic green tea, I know if I drink 1 big thing of this and I have 2 water bottles, I've hit my water target for the day. And if you prep it in the morning, you just get a little stainless steel kettle, you boil the water, throw a couple tea bags in there, you take it throughout the day, you're good to go on your organic teas. Number 3 on this list is some high quality coffee. Now this is not something I'm necessarily saying like the previous 2 when it comes to the water is tea, I'm suggesting. Number 3, the coffee, I'm not saying you necessarily need to add this in if you're not drinking coffee already, but if you are, coffee can be a part of your health plan. But I would recommend that it's organic, of high quality. The darker roasts in particular are a little bit healthier for you. They have more antioxidants in them, and they're a little lower in the caffeine content than a lighter roast. Where people get tripped up when it comes to coffee is they throw a lot of creamers and sugar and crap in there. And so when I say you get an organic, high quality coffee and you might sweeten it with a couple drops of stevia and a splash of almond milk, I think that's totally fine. What it comes down to is you want to make sure that your body's not necessarily addicted to caffeine where you need it to feel energized, but if it's something that you enjoy and you feel fine kind of without it and you can just manage your dose, then coffee can be something that can be in your health plan. It does help increase ketone production, can help you burn fat, can help with cognitive performance, and it is good as a pre-workout. So there's a lot of use cases for coffee. Make sure you're not relying on it, get some high quality, and don't throw sugar, dairy, and crap in your coffee. Number 4 on this list is to get more fresh green juices. Juicing is absolutely amazing. What juicing is essentially taking fruits and vegetables, putting them through a juicer, and extracting all of their vitamins, minerals, their amino acids, and all the things that give you really great nutrition without the fiber. The beauty of juices is that they're very easily digested. The body can assimilate that juice very quickly. This is why people feel amazing when they do go on juice cleanses. Well, whether or not we go on a juice cleanse, incorporating more fresh green-based juices is amazing. So green-based juices, what I mean by that is it typically has things like kale, spinach, celery, cucumber. It has greens as a base of it, as opposed to something that might be a more pure fruit juice like pineapple, orange, apple juice. It's going to be higher in sugar. So a good green-based juice that may have some apple and some carrot in there as well is going to be amazingly supportive for you. You'll feel great, and you can use it as a meal replacement this year if you want to lose weight and feel amazing. And if you have it in the morning, it's a really great time too, because your body doesn't have to spend a lot of time trying to digest the food, and digestive stress in general is going to make us feel a little more sluggish and lethargic. I know you've had a big meal before and you feel tired afterwards. Juice can help fix that. You can substitute a meal for some juice. It's a really good habit. I have about 1 juice a day. I'm a really big fan of that. Number 5 on this list is to get some kind of probiotic drink. So probiotic are the good gut bacteria that live inside of our intestinal tract, and they help improve our immune system. They help us digest our foods. They can actually release different kinds of neurotransmitters that actually influences how our brain behaves and functions. So these guys are super, super important. You may have heard of some of these fermented teas like kombucha. That can be great. Maybe some of these gut shots, or it might be some kind of like coconut kefir. But these probiotic drinks are amazing. I also recommend you eat probiotic containing foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, maybe a coconut kind of fermented yogurt or something like that. These are all good, but also drink your probiotics. Very good for your health this year. And finally, number 6 on this list is a good old quality protein shake. You do not have to be a bodybuilder or an athlete to enjoy protein shakes. Protein shakes are amazing meal replacements. It's a really simple way if you're on the go and you want to have like a snack or something in between lunch and dinner. You can get a protein shake, you can throw some chia seeds and some hemp seeds. You can keep it in a bottle without any liquid in there. Then when it's time to have your meal, you add in some water or some almond milk, you shake it up and you're good to go. You have a meal replacement on the go. Protein shakes are amazing because they're giving us the high quality protein that keeps us full, helps our muscles repair, and actually can be thermogenic, can help us burn fat with a higher protein diet, which is good. So basically protein shakes are a utility meal replacement. I recommend you use them. You can also use a protein smoothie first thing in the morning as breakfast. Could be a really simple way. So those are 6 drinks I recommend you include this year. Now, what didn't make this list? 1, alcohol. And I'm not saying you can't drink on occasion, but alcohol is a problem for a lot of different reasons. 1, when we drink alcohol and eat high calorie foods at the same time, our body's a lot more likely to store the calories from the foods we're eating because it's busy metabolizing the alcohol. Alcohol is a metabolic toxin. Our body really wants to get rid of it. Number 2, alcohol does negatively impact your sleep and your blood sugar levels. So if you have alcohol before you go to bed, you're going to get lighter sleep, so less deep sleep, which is less restorative for the body, and it influences your REM sleep. So you're not going to dream as much, and that's actually good for memory consolidation and actually feeling sharp the next day. So I don't need to tell you that alcohol is not great for your body. I would say drink, if at all, in moderation this year. Definitely scale that back. And if you do drink, make sure you're not getting a bunch of sugar with your alcohol. It'd be a lot better to have whiskey on the rocks than it would be to have a margarita. Sugar plus alcohol is a really bad combo. Next is dairy. Dairy is a problematic food for a lot of different reasons. We have full videos on this channel on why dairy is a problem. I would certainly recommend that you drink less non-organic dairy. And if you do drink dairy, try to get it from an A2 cow. When you go into the supermarkets this year, you're going to start to see a lot more milk advertised as A2. It's a different kind of protein in the milk that comes from a different kind of cow that has slightly different genetics that doesn't cause as many problems. But I would say cut back on the dairy in general and do something more like an organic almond milk. Unsweetened, of course. You don't want to add a lot of sugar into your almond milk, but it's a really great substitute. So I would recommend that as well. I would also recommend you cut back on some sodas and artificial sweeteners this year. Is it fine to have a diet soda once in a while? Absolutely fine. But we do know that the artificial sweeteners and all sorts of these things do negatively impact the gut microbiome, which harms our digestion, and again, harms our immune system and can lead to all sorts of problems. We want the probiotics. We don't want things to screw with our digestive tract. And also, when our brain is getting the sensation of being sweet all the time, artificial sweeteners are kind of tripping out our system. When our tongue senses the sweetness, our pancreas actually starts to secrete insulin ahead of the sugar that it expects to come. And what happens is if we don't actually have sugar coming in, and insulin's already spiking just a little bit because it's trying to get ahead of the sugar, aka the sweet taste coming in, then it can actually lower our blood sugar and lead to some dips and stuff like that. So for all those reasons, I'm not a huge fan of artificial sweeteners, and I recommend if you're gonna do something, stevia seems like it's the best bet, but I still wouldn't be putting stevia on everything anyways. So that's the list this year. I know you're not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect either, but if we start to make more conscious choices like this, what we are going to find is we're going to start to feel better and more energetic. We're start to make better food choices, and we will start losing weight, especially if we're drinking a lot of sugars regularly. Getting those out of the diet is going to be massively helpful. So if you like this list, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment below on something you're committed to drinking more of this year or something you're committed to drinking less of this year. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're not subscribed to our Fit Father and Fit Mother Project YouTube channels, subscribe. We literally have hundreds of videos just like these on nutrition, on exercise, the right kinds of workouts for burning fat and building muscle, how to get your entire family healthy too. We are the Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project. This is what we do. Thank you for being here, my friend. Give us a thumbs up and hit the like button. Drop us a comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you around the channel, and I'll talk to you very soon.